we live?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're live. We're live.
Oh, it started already?
Yes. Okay, so, hey, real quick. So, we met up on our lunch because we wanted to talk about the Ayesha Curry situation. I'm going to discuss the situation from a female's perspective, and Dwight's going to chime in. So, first and foremost...
In between bikes, y'all. Hold on.
Yeah, because we're on lunch. We are really on lunch, so we're going to hit it and quit it. This ain't going to be no long, drawn-out video. First and foremost, I think the most problematic thing is people took a clip of something and took it out of context. If you're gonna comment on a thing, please be knowledgeable about it. Please do your research first. Ayesha Curry was talking about a scenario. They Jada Pinkett Smith had asked her, how do you deal with women, with your husband being, a basketball player and this, that, and third. And she said, I've had insecurities. I can speak for myself. I have had insecurities. I've had women come up to me and say how fine my husband is. Our YouTube channel is filled with women inboxing us saying how, they would have sex with him and the things they would do to him. Ain't no men doing that to me. There's no man who comments on my Instagram. And it could be that he's a big dude, and he asserts himself and he don't really play those games. However, there was a time, even like last month, we were having a discussion. I was like, babe, I need you to start like picking it back up again the way you was doing it before, because I'm feeling a little insecure. Like, am I losing it? Do I still look the same to you? Do you still want me? Because all these women are approaching you. Ain't no men coming for me. Ain't nobody saying, oh, Maria, you sexy, or Maria, I love the way you look nice in that outfit, whatever. Back in the day, I mean, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I ain't had no problem with dudes in my DM. He was one of them. I didn't have problems with guys telling me that I look nice. And don't get me wrong, I'm not like super duper like, oh, I know I look good, like whatever. Here's the deal. I know who I am. I'm confident in who I am. But after having a kid and being a wife for a period of time, that kind of dwindles and you feel a little insecure in who you are, because you kind of forget to do things for yourself. You forget to be who you were before you got married, before you had the kids, before you had responsibilities. You know what I mean? So when I hear men kind of... dog Ayesha talking about, oh, you selfish, he give you the world, he do this for you. That has nothing to do with her mental state. That has nothing to do with her mental state. It has nothing to do with what he provides for her, intimately, right? Dwight is an amazing husband. He cooks, he cleans, he provides, he handles it in the bed. He does everything I need him to do. But there was a time where I felt like, when's the last time you said, yo, you look nice in that outfit? When I would get dressed up, put makeup on, got, tons of people giving me likes, I walk out the house, Dwight didn't say nothing. It wasn't that he didn't like it, but he just, we got set in our ways. We were doing our thing. So y'all got to understand, if your wife is telling you she feels a way, do not take what she feels and downplay it because you don't understand it, or downplay it because you don't agree. She feels this way. She's feeling this thing. It's something that is in her and it hurts. It doesn't feel good. It makes her feel uncomfortable. Do you think she'll be able to talk to you about anything if she feels uncomfortable telling you that you are making her uncomfortable? You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Dudes ain't gonna come up to me with dudes like this standing next to me. They're just not. They're not. I get that. And that's cool. And I understand that I'm fine without him or with him. I get that. But, some women are saying, oh, you got to know who you are outside of your husband and things like that. And that's true. But listen, y'all, once you get married, that don't happen every day, all day like it's supposed to happen. Like, you feel away. I'm trying to tell you, there are moments of straight up insecurity. There are. And it's okay. It's a natural feeling and it's a human feeling. And guess what? Women aren't the only one.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, y'all? So
he was eating. Hold on, I'm gonna try to fix this.
I know I still got like this taco on my breath and everything, but I don't know. When I saw that whole thing this morning, it kind of, I don't know. It really kind of shocked me to really see how many dudes were missing the point of part of that statement that she made, because it was something that, like Maria said, it recently happened with us to where you get kind of complacent. You know what I mean? You know that you love your wife or your spouse or whatever the case may be, but sometimes you forget to really express it the way how they need it to be expressed. So, you know, in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, I told her that she looked good last week when we went out or something like that. I'm not thinking, hey, she could be out here every day and it could be tons of dudes on the streets. They see her, they compliment her, they doing this, they doing that. And I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? So it took for us to have that conversation for me to really open my eyes and be like, you know what, you're right. I haven't even been thinking about it to the point to where I can say, oh yeah, I tell you every day you beautiful. I tell you, sometimes you don't. Life happens. You know what I'm saying? It gets hectic, it gets busy, work, you know, we got a daughter, we got this, we got, everybody has responsibilities. Yeah, so stuff is gonna happen. But it just really blew me to see how many dudes is calling her a hoe, talking
because
about
she wanted outside attention.
Yeah, which is not necessarily the case.
That's not what she was saying.
So I even used the example for that movie Hall Pass.
Yes.
That wouldn't have been a movie if these things weren't really happening in real life, to where, you know, you might think that you still got it, you know, because the dudes in the movie were like, oh, I can go get this girl, I can go get that girl, whatever the case may be. And they wasn't getting no play. But flip it for the women. They was
just doing it so bad.
Yeah, flip it for the women. And then their own husbands wasn't telling them certain things. But when they out in the streets, mad dudes is on them, this, and that. And then that's an easy, surefire way, tested and proven, to lose your girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people don't really even understand that. It's one of those things where, you know, of course it might be insecurities or whatever the case may be, but if you're going to be with that person, you got to find ways to uplift them. You got to find ways to, in a sense, love them the way how they need to be loved, and you got to express it on a regular basis. It's not one of those things where you can just automatically assume that just because you gave her a ring, or you bought her a house, or you buy her shoes, or you wash dishes, that just really solidifies how she feels in your life as your life partner. She still wants to know, like, yo, I look good. I can, you know what I'm saying, turn your head whenever you still walk into the room or whatever the case may be. Like, don't nobody want to be with somebody and feel like, all right, well, we just here. You know what I mean? Like, that does nothing. That does nothing for the other person. You got to make that other person feel just as wanted, just like you would want to feel the same way. So, I don't know. Just from a guy's perspective, I wouldn't necessarily say I got into like arguments or whatever with anybody earlier when I saw some of the comments and posts and things like that. But I really was trying to understand, why are so many men's mindset dead set to just automatically say, oh, she a hoe,
or to diminish how she feels.
Exactly.
That,
you know
I think
what I mean?
The bigger problem is we as African Americans don't. Number one, we don't talk about how we feel, and then when we do, this is what happens. Why can't I tell you, yo, you hurt my feelings? And you say, you know what, my bad, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. If that was what happened, that wasn't my intent, or whatever the case may be. And not only did she just talk about the whole, it's on a whole different level for Ayesha Curry. She's in the limelight. Everybody's like, oh, she should expect this. Hold on. Let me tell you something. She is a human.
At the end of the day,
she doesn't have to, you know, expect anything. It's her right to feel how she wants to feel at any moment that she wants to feel it. And, you know, and even with, you know, what Dwight was saying, men should tell their wives or their spouses how they feel, or they're thinking about them, things like that. Us as women, even though we have a spouse, there is nothing wrong with wanting other men to be attracted to you. Nothing. I think
that's human nature. That's in general.
That.
Yeah,
it was like, oh, you shouldn't want outside this and outside that. Let me tell you something. I'm not going outside my marriage, but I tell you what, it sure feel good when I turn heads, when I walk by. I come back with a whole new attitude to my husband when I turn my head. Or, you know, and don't get me wrong, I'm not out here looking for it either. I get up, I go to work, I go home. I'm not out here looking for it. And that's what happens as a wife. We're not even out to get those things too.
Most of y'all not.
Most of us. But you know what I mean? Like, at some point, you know, men realize when a woman comes to you and expresses her feelings, and men too, because when he's come to me and said, I don't like when you do this, I have to understand it. Or not necessarily even understand. Let me take that back. I have to empathize with the fact that he feels a way. And if my husband is uncomfortable, I'm uncomfortable. If he doesn't like something and he doesn't feel comfortable in our household, our whole household is uncomfortable. So what I try to do as a spouse is say, listen, I don't quite get what you're saying, and maybe I never will, but I don't want you to be uncomfortable. So let me change my ways. Let me see how I can fix it. And it doesn't make you any less of a person for trying to appease your spouse, whether you're male or female.
Or, you know what I'm saying, a pushover or anything like that. It's, you're interested in the longevity of the relationship. You're interested in that partnership. Just like if you have a business or anything like that, you can't just be like, oh, you know, the customer wants this or the customer wants that, and well, they can just go find it someplace else.
Your way or the highway.
Yeah, nah, that's not how that works. You got to accommodate for longevity. That's the only way to really makes things work.
So, all in all, we came on here because, number one, we were tagged. I was actually training somebody. I had like 4 inboxes. We got tagged in like several different statuses. Then I saw a lot of people were saying, and then they wanted our opinion, you know, and I understand that everybody don't, you know, we're not out here.
Somebody on here commented and said I was waiting for this.
And I get it. Like, we're not out here we're not perfect. We're not out here telling y'all all the business. You know, we just told you. We had this conversation. Yeah. So it's not like
that was made it so crazy because
we had it.
Like a month ago.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
You know, I don't feel like I used to feel. My stomach was flat. I didn't have stretch marks. My face is chubbier. My chin is long. Like, whatever. I didn't feel.
Fat.
You know, things change when you get married. Everybody acting like it's not realistic for her to be insecure, you know. And I'm not just insecure in one area. I get insecure at work. I get insecure, you know, in being a mother. Sometimes I'm like, am I doing this right? You know, you see other people doing a thing and you're like, yo, you know, where should I be? And social media will have you comparing yourself to people that you really don't need to be comparing yourself to. People that ain't even on your level. I'm not on Ayesha Curry's level. I don't have her money, her businesses, I don't have 3 kids. I don't have none of that. So I don't have no business comparing my life to hers. Now, it's one thing to aspire to be a thing, but like, listen. I mean,
even with that, you know, touching on the whole social media aspect or whatever, there's a lot of people that I saw commenting on this situation
who not married.
Y'all, not even that. You don't got nobody. You ain't been able to. I'll be seeing y'all posting some statuses weekly about a new this, a new that, stuff that y'all, listen, some of y'all gotta relax. You gotta humble yourself. You have no
authority to talk about something you ain't never been through.
You gotta relax, because some of y'all been commenting and I'm like, hold on, you don't even treat women well, period. Much less to be commenting talking about, oh, she a hoe because she want to be looked at and blah blah blah. Where's your woman at to even make these you know what I'm saying, these assumptions? Like, calm down. So I don't know, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of felt some type of way because I felt like women were being attacked this morning for no reason, just for having an opinion. Like, that was wrong.
And these women are either married to these men or they're actually dating these men. And I want to say this, and I want to say this in the most humble way.
Some of y'all men need to relax.
Listen,
it's gonna be some dudes out there that seen y'all post and y'all statuses, and they know that y'all marriage is having issues.
Understand, you are not in a good relationship if you can't communicate the way you're feeling to your husband without him trying to downplay everything you feel. Or without him telling you, oh, you tripping. That's a good one. First of all, Dwight already know. Don't come to me with the, oh, you tripping. Excuse me? I just came to you.
That ship has sailed.
I opened myself up to you. I told you how I was feeling, because it's not something I won't say I'm not good at, but I don't do it a lot because I don't want to be complaining. I'm not a nagger and stuff like that. So if I do come to him, he understands that it is very serious. Now, on the flip side of that, I want you to understand, if you're the type of woman who always nags, who's always coming at your man, you cannot expect him to be understanding, because it sounds like everything else you're doing. So
I don't know, y'all. So
wish y'all the best.
Yeah,
if you're in an Ayesha Curry situation, get out of it, or see if you can talk about it. Like,
the thing is, honestly, before, because it had to have been, she probably had this conversation with him in private, because I don't know any women personally who would have just went on a national stage like that and then just said exactly what she said, and then they didn't already have this conversation in private with their spouse. She probably been told them, and he wasn't listening. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
It wasn't even that he wasn't listening. See, I don't think you watched the whole video. She said this is something that she had experienced before. So she's not saying.
I think I was speaking in generalities when I said that. You know what I'm saying?
That was a whole thing. People was like, oh, she's saying he do it. No, she wasn't even saying right now. She said something and that speaks to their marriage. They got through it. They got through it, just like we got through it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, for those of you who don't know what's going on, please look up the Red Talk Table with Ayesha Curry. And matter of fact, it wasn't just Ayesha Curry; it was all the Curry women, and they have a lot of good things to say.
Yeah,
and
so
the interview wasn't just
talk.
about that. Literally, this is one clip for a 20-minute video. So you guys go watch it. Yeah. Tell us what you think.
Formulate
share your
own
thoughts.
Opinions, yeah. And leave women alone, yo. Y'all stop attacking the women out there. For y'all dudes, man. Y'all corny for that. I ain't gonna lie, y'all corny.
Okay. What he said. All right, we gotta go because I'm hungry.
Lunch almost over. We'll holler at y'all.
Pillow Talk with D&E lunchtime edition.
Yeah,
we'll holler at y'all. Bye.
All right.